Hey guys, I hope you're all enjoying the new episode. Hopefully your placements went well and you're able to start the season off right. With the new episode came the brand new map, Pearl, that's recently become available in competitive play. So, in this video, we're going to be going over who the best agents on the map are, the must picks, and which agents you should be avoiding if you want to have the most success on the map. Remember though, your agent doesn't matter if you don't know how to play them though. That's why we recommend checking out our Smurf commentaries over on the website. With these bad boys, our Radiant coaches will get you up to speed real fast on how to carry in your rank. All this backed by our rank improvement guarantee means it's actually one of the best deals you can get in the game. Get started on your road to Radiant in the description below. And now, let's get back into the video. Starting with arguably the most important role in the game, let's start talking about the controllers. Right off the bat, traditional smokes are much more impactful than Viper's Wall, and in my opinion, Brimstone is probably the best controller for side executes on Pearl, since there's 3 choke points you want to smoke off on each side, and Brimstone is the only agent that can put down 3 smokes at once. There's also a lot of tight spaces that are great for Brimstone's ultimate, like in B Hall or any of the corridors surrounding the A side. However, Brimstone isn't the only option. Omen and Astra are also great picks as well. They have the ability to smoke off 2 of the 3 choke points on each side, and that can usually be enough. They also bring other great utility to the side execute, like Omen's Blind and Astra's Gravity Well. There's a lot of potential diversity in the controller slot on Pearl. Viper is probably the only controller that I would say isn't viable. We could be wrong on this. I've heard a number of different people in the community even say Viper's a must pick on Pearl. But to us right now, it doesn't feel like Viper's going to be as versatile on this map. And we're not saying she's trashed here. You can probably still pick her, but we just feel the other controllers bring just a bit more to the table when it comes to Pearl. Check back with us once the map's been in competitive for a bit, and we'll keep you updated if anything changes. Moving on, let's talk about the duelists. This is a role where any agent can be played on the map and see decent success, but there's a couple of duelists that just do so much that it's hard not to pick them. For starters, Raze is looking like a must pick on Pearl. This map reminds me a lot of Bind with all the tight spaces and makes getting value with her paint shells super easy. There's also a ton of narrow hallways in this map that make it pretty much impossible to dodge her ultimate either. The B side also has some verticality that Raze can take advantage of with her satchels, giving her even more options. Pearl is definitely going to be a Raze map, and if I were you, I'd start getting ahead of the curve and auto-locking her from now. Besides Raze, there seems to be a ton of viable duelists when it comes to the new map. Of course, Jett's always going to be a solid pick, Neon's not bad, and I've seen Yoru be a good pick. When it comes to the duelists, you can pretty much play anything. Of course, we do recommend you have a Raze, but since most solo queue comps have 2 duelists, pretty much any duelist can fit the second slot. So if your team already has a Raze, I wouldn't worry too much about your pick. Now that we're done talking about the duelists, the next role I'm going to be talking about are the Sentinels. As the most important piece to any team's defense, you need to make sure you're picking the right agent so that your team isn't getting run over on the CT side. Right away, Killjoy doesn't seem as strong as I'd like her to be. This isn't the best map for her ultimate, although I will say that the retake ult on B looks pretty strong. Her limited range is also a real detriment on a map as big as this one. It makes it hard to default with her on attack, and I would personally stay away from her. Cypher is actually a really good choice. There are 4 main paths that enemies can push from, and being able to trip 2 of these areas by putting 1 on mid and 1 in like A main can be really nice. On attack, he's also a great agent for defaulting. The flexibility of his trips make them really good at holding your team's flanks. And with so many potential areas to flank from, it's actually really nice that he has 2 of them. Chamber is also a really good pick on Pearl. He benefits from having unlimited range on his trips just like Cypher, but there are also some great sight lines that he can take advantage of to buy an operator. Especially on the B side, where it's honestly going to feel borderline impossible to push with how much ground there is to cover before you're able to get to the side. If Cypher doesn't get played on Pearl, Chamber definitely will. Finally, there's Sage. Sage is an okay pick. There's nothing really wrong with picking her, and her walls can definitely be useful in some situations. It can make planting the bomb a lot safer since you can completely block off a choke point that enemies might try to push from, and on defense, it can be a great stalling tool. She doesn't offer so much that she's a must pick, but it's a pretty decent option on the new map. And with that, we're done talking about the Sentinels, so let's move on to the final role we have to talk about. Who could forget about the Initiators? They're one of the more powerful roles in the game right now, and will definitely have an impact on this map. Right off the bat, most of the initiators don't really stand out. Sova seems okay. There isn't really a great place to drone from on B when attacking, besides the pillar in B main. His dart is pretty good on both sides, but there's some spots that you can hide from it. Skye has a similar issue with her dog, but her flashes are pretty good. If any initiators are going to shine on this map, it's probably going to be Fade and KO. Fade's eyeball is super good, being able to clear a ton of angles on both sides, and her ultimate is large enough to fully cover both of the sites as well. The sites are so small that KO's 0 point can also cover the entire site, and the hallways are so narrow that his molly is able to fully block off a ton of high traffic areas that players would want to push through. I can honestly see these two agents getting a good amount of playtime on the new map, but we'll see what happens as the act continues. Finally, there's Breach. With so many narrow hallways, Breach is bound to see play on this map. There's a ton of potential areas that his stun can see good value, and just like Fade, his ultimate can cover the entirety of both sites. There's a very good chance that this becomes a new Breach map, so watch for that. It's not the same level as a map like Fracture, but it'll still be pretty close. That's all the agents. Let us know what you guys think. Do you agree with our list? Are there any agents you think we're underestimating? If you've made it all the way through to the end of this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, we here at SkillCapped want to give you a huge thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.